And the last review for the show is going to be long title. It's going to be Resurrection of Adventure Book Number 1, Run Magic, The Return of the Master's Quest, Resurrection of the Master's LitRPG Series by Andrew Bardsley. So there we go. Long title, 168 pages, $2.99 available on Kindle Unlimited. And here's the author's description. He was killed on Earth in a deadly street fight, just because he was trying to survive in the streets running a con. Chrix finds himself in a world full of action adventure. To his excitement, he finds that his world is full of magic and monsters, but he has to struggle with no combat or magic skills. So this would-be this would-be con man has to fake it to survive. This leads him into a dangerous situation that nobody would normal survive. So normally survive, I think that's what that means. There's also an extract from the book, which I'm not going to read. It is, again, a relatively short novel. And it's actually shorter than the novel description, or the pitch and actually reviews, and I'll talk about that in a second. The novel description and cover art don't accurately describe some of the highlights of this slice of life story. It starts out with the main character dying in a way that kind of reveals some of his character flaws or his character aspects, and I thought that was nice. And then getting transported to a fantasy RPG world by cheating and conning Death himself. From there, the main character explores and figures out the rules of this new RPG world where he makes money by continuing to con and scam the medieval communities. While this doesn't sound like it's a great story, it's rather more detailed and interesting than I thought it would be. So I was pleased that essentially this was better than I thought it was going to be from the cover art. There's a good use of body language study and skills a good grifter would use. There's also some good internal dialogue where the main character questions and explores the way this world is different from our own and the logical consequences of the information he's gradually learning. While there's very little combat, there are other kinds of conflict, including social and economic ones. One of the few things I didn't like about the story is the fact that it's actually shorter than it says it is. The last 20% of this it feels like it's completely filler. Like there's a lot of paragraphish descriptions of other stories that don't exist yet, or in the author's description or back catalog, and also the first chapter from a completely different novel that I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting, and it takes about 20% of the actual back end of an already short story, so didn't enjoy that. Overall, though, while the story doesn't really have a plot against slice of life, it's an interesting slice of life story with a non-hero main character looking to take advantage of those around him with quick hands, a charming smile, and an intelligent mind. I thought it was fun read to read about the kind of character who's, again, not the shiny knight in white armor, and there's plenty of RPG skill mechanics and stuff, so definitely decent there. For me, it gets a score of 7.4 out of 10. That's Resurrection of Adventure Book Number 1, Dirty Rat Magic, The Return of the Master's Quest, Resurrection of the Master's LitRPG Series, with a score of 7.4 out of 10.